Junior, Gene, and Mike. Great job. Yeah, Mike's really got his head in the game.
Yep.
You know, Mike's one of the ones that didn't have his head in the game for a little bit when he started. And he got his head in the game, and he's killing it. His whole aura is better. He's always walking around positive. He's making money. Lots of good examples here, you guys.
About to be on Friday. I'll be about a year sober. On Friday.
So yeah.
Fountain Hills.
Yeah, lives in Fountain Hills.
Has 2 cars.
Straight up, baby. Let's
Yeah, absolutely. So super excited. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the structure here. It's headed straight up. Some of you guys might be wondering who some people are and how things work. This guy right here, raise your hand, Bob. That's Bob, if you don't know already. Bob's in contracting, okay? So Bob's one of the guys that has something to do with the deals, right? He has something to do with the roots of this deal, part of it, you know? I also have part to do with that. So that's kind of where Bob's at. Bob has his own, he actually has another office where he does other stuff, and that's who Bob is. He plays a big part here. He's always at the meetings. He's always here. He puts himself right around the leadership development program and always gives advice and always is a part of what's going on, and we all appreciate that, right? Yeah. So just so everybody know, that's Bob. Now I want to give you guys kind of a history on our structure, okay? So when I first started, my first agent was Jess. My wife. And so when I first started, like my first goal, find a good first agent, right? It was not planned to be her. Like that was not the plan. The plan was get a good first agent. And then we just were like talking. I was having some contracting conversations at my house. My wife was sitting there, obviously, because she's my wife, and it's her living room as well. We're all sitting there. And so we had some conversations, and it was brought up, the idea was brought up about her doing sales. And I stopped for a second, and I looked at her, and I went, that might be a thing. Let me think about it a little bit. That might be a thing that works, right? And so when I talked to Jess, right, Jess had no sales experience whatsoever. She's never sold anything. If she has, it's probably like at church or something. I don't know. Girl Scouts or something. Like, she's never been a salesman, right? But what I realized, what I knew to be true, is I knew this. I was like, I know it, so if she'll listen, it'll work. That's really what it came down to. If Jess will listen to me and take the training that I give her, she'll boss up and become successful and do a really good job at this. And because of our relationship, I already knew she would listen to me. So I was very confident about it. So Jess got started at it. At first, I wasn't even doing any sales. So I was hiring people. Jess was doing some sales. I was getting other people to do sales. I've been in sales my whole life. I can get a group of people, take them in a room, explain a product, and everybody's going to work. I can do that with almost anything. So I'm really good at that. So Jess, I got Jess out to work. She's doing really good. She's up in Prescott, working some neighborhoods, working some apartment complexes, reaching high days. You know, we're just getting the leadership development kind of idea, and we're trying to basically work our way up and build a team from the ground up. So Jess gets started. She's doing really good, right? I realized pretty soon after we started, it didn't take long, just a couple weeks, I realized that I'm gonna benefit really big if I just humble myself and go learn this job from the ground up. Even though I don't have to, it would be smart to do that. If I go out there on that field and I find out the answer to every question, I'll be a best person ever. If I go find out all the answers to all the questions, and I teach people, and I learn how to show the product, and I learn all the stuff the hard way, it'll pay off. That's what I realized. So I started going out and doing sales. I'm the first person that had a 20 sale day. And you know what? When I had the 20 sale day, I was trying to show people what's possible. I said, you know what? These tins are good, but there's more out there. Watch, I'll show you. And I was really busy because I was running this company and another company as well. So I was very busy, but I would make myself go out there and work a long day, break the company record. We had 4 or 5 people at the time. We started out with several people because I could just hire people. You guys know that right off of an ad. You know, I could put as many people in a room and hire them as I need to. So there's no problem with that. So we always have had new people that we were hiring, but we started hiring close net. You know where I hired John from? Church. Me and John were working in the sound booth together at church for a minute, several months, right, John? Before
4 or 6 months.
Yeah, we worked there for about 6 months. And I told John we were there, you know, just serving the Lord. And I told John about the business. I found out he was doing marketing up in another state up north for a pest control company, door to door. I was like, oh man, if you did that, you'll do really good at what I'm doing. He's like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, that's a lot of hard no's, I bet. You know, walking around trying to sell pest control.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can give away free phones, man. You know, so John's got his own part of this story, you know, hiring him and his brother Jared. Both of them got started with me at the same time. They were both working with me in the sound booth. And I was working with them. We were just a team. And and obviously Jess was grinding and working. Okay, so Jess, basically, let me just tell you, like Jess is so good at following instruction. So if I tell her anything, she listens to me, literally. So anything she did in the beginning that wasn't the best for sales or wasn't the best for mindset or wasn't the best for anything, I just told her, she trusts me, so she listened.
Yeah.
Boom. And results back to back. She's getting high days, she's getting high weeks. She's learning, we're practicing. We started practicing the spiel on our door at home. She'd knock on the door, I'd answer it. She'd try to sell me a tablet. If it wasn't good enough, I'd shut the door in her face. Nah, just kidding. You have to redo it. We would do it. We did it a couple times, you know. So from the ground up, guys. And then I got on territory, started doing the sales, started building up the high days, the high weeks, all that stuff. I grinded for months and learned all of the answers to all of the questions until I felt confident that I am literally able to compete with whoever's the best in the business. That type of stuff. You come to my tent, you're getting approved, right? While I'm simultaneously training. You know what my rule was? Don't be out on territory without somebody with me. And Jess. So look, our idea was no matter what, if we're out on territory, we want somebody with us because I don't just want to be selling. I want somebody to be learning while I'm selling. Every day counts. So we did that over and over and over again. Okay? So Jess, let me just give you a little bit of history. So Jess, she didn't just stop working out in the field when she was pregnant. That wasn't it. She earned her promotion. Okay? I want to tell you this. I'm trying to explain to you guys the structure. It's going to make a little bit more sense in a minute. But I want to tell you, let me just lay it out for you. So basically, the person that has the last say on anything, who's that? Who do you guys know? Do you guys know?
You.
Anybody guess? It's me. Yeah. So I'm the one that makes the decisions. If I say this, it's golden. Nobody can make a decision over me. You guys know that. Come on. So underneath me is Jess. When I say underneath me, I'm not talking about as my wife and stuff. She's my partner. I'm talking about in the business. In the business, my wife is right underneath me in structure.
Right.
So why is she right there? Because she's my wife? No. It's because she earned it better than anyone has yet. Nobody has listened as good. Nobody's done as good of a job. Nobody did as much of the hard work. And you know why she deserves it more than any other reason? Because she was doing it when all she had was what I was telling her. She didn't have no proof. I literally just said, it's going to work out. And she believed me and she was listening and doing all the stuff that I was telling her to do right off of faith. and just trust in what I was telling her. I'm like, babe, it's gonna work out. Trust me. Just keep doing what I'm telling you to do. Boom. She did it then, right? You get to come in and see all the successful people. I tell you to go do something. You're like, I should listen. Look at all these other people that are doing good, right? She didn't have that. She just listened to me. That means something. That's valuable. That means a lot. So Jess has earned her position in the hierarchy. It's not she's my wife, so you should listen. Nah, she's done really good at this, so you should listen. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
She knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. She always filled out her consignment sheets the best. All the stuff we have you guys do, we made ourselves do it. So when we went out, we filled out consignment sheets. That's how we know that you guys need consignment sheets, because if you don't write down the customer's info and time goes by, you could be missing a device if you don't have the info.
Right.
So because we did it from the ground up, we know all the answers to the stuff. That's why all the stuff's in place, and this office is so successful, because it's been not only built from the ground up, this group, let's say that, there's a couple of things that combine to make this office. But from the ground up, not just from the ground up, but the right way. You know, she kicked butt and took names. She got promoted all the way through the leadership idea till eventually we used to come down here 6 days a week from Prescott. Every day we worked. Why do I tell people you should work 6 days? Because I did it. I know the kind of job this is. I know the kind of dedication that it takes. And I know what's going to help you succeed the most. I've tried part-time people. That's why I don't hire them. I have experience. It's not like I'm guessing. Nah, I try something, it doesn't work, we're not going to do that no more. You know, if it's broke, fix it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Learn from your mistakes. Make things better. So we're building up, just so everybody knows, Jess went up through leadership, then started working 5 days. Okay? Then at a certain level, started working 4 days because she had more responsibilities that took her time. Then it was 3 days out in the field because she had more responsibility. It's not about not being out in the field and selling. That's not the point. You're busy doing other stuff. That's why you're not out in the field selling. That's how this business is. It's not like you graduate to a spot where you ain't got nothing to do and everybody else does it. That never happens. Do you know how hard my job is? Really hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Hands down, not even a close comparison. So, but it's also valuable and very worth it. So Jess worked your way up all the way through the days. Did y'all know in the LDP it works the same way? When you get to a certain point, then you start working less days a week as your team grows and you have other responsibilities that take up your time. You'll start working 5 days. Then after a while, once you reach certain sales and get to a certain point, you'll be on 4 days out in the field. Then after a while, after a certain point, your team reaches certain numbers and you have other lots of other responsibilities, then you're only out in the field 3 days. So, and you're working your way up to where you finally are so busy doing stuff for your team that you really don't have time to be out in the field. At some point, it won't make sense for you to be out there. That's how you level up. It's not about getting to a point where you don't need to do nothing. You're in the wrong business if that's what you're trying to do. I don't know anybody in this business that does nothing. Everybody has to work. There's no deals attached to no work. Nobody goes for it. I'm telling you. You don't work, you don't get paid in this business. You gotta work hard, right? The harder you work, the more money you make. It's how it's set up. So, I wanted to tell you guys, Jess is where she is in the hierarchy because she earned it. I didn't give it to her. I had a choice the whole time to either say, oh, you're my wife, so I'm going to do it this way, but I never did. I never compromised. I made her earn it all the way up, and she did it. It just so happened she was pregnant, and the timing, she was down to like 3 days a week working, blah, 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 and the timing was perfect. She had a baby. Guess what? Once you come back from the baby, you're going to be running the office like you've been trying to do the whole time. That was her goal. She wanted to work her way up to that. I said, in order to be in the office, you got to know the answer to all the questions. You got to go out there and earn it the hard way. I'm not going to have you standing around the office trying to tell people what to do if you ain't done it yourself. And so I made her work for it. And she did. Let me tell you guys, we're talking about how getting people up early and keeping them out late. Guess what? I used to make sure we were out early selling and not getting back till late. I didn't let her quit. 7 o'clock, I'm tired, I'm hungry, my foot hurts, it's been a long day. I love you, but let's keep working. I've made her earn it, you guys. So that deserves something. I just want to let you know that she worked her butt off.
Good job, Jess.
So she's where she's at in hierarchy because she earned it. Now she ain't just got some pass because she's my wife. Some of you guys are new, so new you might not have knew that about Jess. So I wanted to make sure everybody knows. Now, right below Jess is John. Why is John there? Because John's earned it. John has trained more people than anybody in the room. Good training. Okay? John made leader. John made team leader. And as a team leader, I promoted him into a position assisting me on company growth. So that's why John is above everybody else besides me and Jess. And Bob's in contracting, so Bob too. So there's nobody else that beats that. You guys understand? I'm just trying to tell you so you can understand the structure. John is assisting me in leading the teams. Okay? John had a couple agents. It made more sense at that time for the need that I had of getting somebody promoted into that position. It made more sense to get his concentration on the whole company instead of just those few agents on his team. So John passed the test. Sometimes I test people, you don't know you're being tested. You respond a certain way, you're not ready for the next level yet. You don't even know it. I took John out to get some food. I sat him down. You know what he did? John was telling me his amazing plan. I wish I could share the other sentimental, funny part, but I'm not going to. But anyways, yeah, you know how you get to know people. You got those things. You ain't gonna put that on blast.
No.
You know, John's my boy though. He's got some good things about his heart. Let's just say that.
Amen.
So John sat down and John told me, man, this is what I'm excited to do, man. I'm going to build my team. I'm going to be concentrating on training new people. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. And I looked over at him and I was like, that's really positive what you just told me. And the fact that your mindset's where it is after the conversation we just had shows me you might be ready for the next level pro position that I'm looking to put somebody in. So I'm going to put you in the position of assisting me in leadership over the company on the teams. So John is in that position, okay? Why is John in that position? Let me repeat this. John is in that position because he earned it. You guys understand what I'm saying? He earned all the stuff. He earned leader, right? He earned team leader, okay? John trained a lot of people. He put in work, right? John's on salary, y'all. I give him bread, and it's going to keep increasing as the company grows. But I'm just letting y'all know, like, there's a lot of opportunity here, and I'm promoting people from within that earn it. I mean, I'm giving you all the layout of the real stuff that's going on in this office. Do you think I'm going to let somebody come in here and trick me into giving them something? Nah, not when I got so many genuine hard workers that are doing all of the stuff that it takes to be promoted. I don't have to give it away. It's too valuable to just give. Now the opportunity I give to everybody. Make sense? So John in the hierarchy earned where he's at. So John is the point man over the teams. Does that make sense? So John, and he probably trained most of the leaders and team leaders anyways.
Yep.
So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, John. Woo! Good job, John!
So, boom. Now, okay, so we got what we've established all the way to John. Now, guess what? Right below John in hierarchy is the team leaders. John's a team leader, but there's two people that have made team leader that really earned it so far.
Junior and Alex.
That's Junior and Alex. So in the hierarchy of the company, that's who has the hierarchy below John and Jess and me, is those two people. They have more status because they earned it. Does that make sense? So we have leaders, and we have some people that are acting as if team leaders to earn that level, and that's something we're promoting here. We want people to work really hard to get that step finished. So basically what we have is 2 official team leaders and John, okay? And then we have several people that are working on team leader, and then we have several leaders, and then we have everybody else. Does that make sense? So, does that mean anything sometimes? Sometimes not. You know, sometimes, most of the time, everything's just gonna flow. And you got it, there's no really, I mean, nobody's ever holding hierarchy over you, so it never even matters almost, you know, for the most part. But it should matter to a certain degree, and we should all work hard and appreciate it and want to get our place in it. You know, I have valuable people in this room that I didn't list in that hierarchy that mean a whole bunch to me, like Brett and Rhea and Justin. And there's multiple other people in this room that mean a lot to me. And so everybody in this room means a lot to me. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's people in this room that might not be in the hierarchy, but they have status because they've been here being consistent for a while. And that matters. Do you understand what I'm saying? So somebody might earn a spot, but this other person might really have the right thought in a conversation or something because they've been around and they're loyal to Headed Straight Up and they have a heart in the matter and stuff. So we consider everybody's opinion valid. You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We do care how everybody feels, and we do want each individual to succeed. And you don't have to be in the hierarchy to succeed. Okay? You do not have to be in the hierarchy to succeed. You could be a leader succeeding great. You could be a leader succeeding great. You could be somebody that didn't make leader yet, but you're consistent every week with sales that are almost leader. You'll benefit really big on the year doing consistency like that. So there's opportunity for everybody. But listen, this is what I want to promote because this is important for all of us, okay? So we have a structure set up, okay? We have team leaders. Listen, whoever hired you and trained you, that's your immediate leader, okay? Whoever hired you and trained you, that is your immediate leader. So that means that person is the person that you should first contact about anything, about ever. Anytime, if you're not on like one of the teams on the wall or whatever, let's say you're on this board. The first person you would ask about anything is your immediate leader, the person that's right above you in hierarchy. If you guys can't figure it out, then you would go to maybe a seasoned leader, somebody that's been here for a while, right? After that, you would need to talk to a team leader. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have so much awesome structure in this office that we should be having problems solved quickly. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we should be edifying one another. Okay, and what I mean by that is we should be sharpening one another. Okay? But in order for us to sharpen one another, everybody in the hierarchy and everybody in the structure has to play their role. And they have to care about their role. What do I mean by that? Well, a leader. What does that mean? We could go deep on that. I give meetings all the time on leadership. Leadership is such a depth thing, okay? But a leader in this company basically has earned the steps that it takes to earn leader and has been showing up to meeting, being on time, doing the consignment sheets right, all the stuff that's right, and also has earned a 60+ sale week. Okay? That's leader, right? But you're not supposed to just become leader and then just be stagnant. That's why we have accountability and we're looking over the leadership numbers, and now we have a thing called active leaders. So active leaders are going to be people that are actually doing the stuff that a leader should be doing on a consistent basis. That means if somebody got leader like 5 months ago, but now they're not meeting those sales, then we're not going to consider them an active leader. They're a leader, they've earned that right, but they're not active. So until they get back on track, they're not considered an active leader. Does that make sense? Okay. But check this out. A leader is supposed to be thinking about leading. Okay? Listen. So all the leaders are supposed to be thinking about how to lead. And you should be thinking about the people that you are leading. If you are a leader and you have new people, you should be working with those new people. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you're a leader and you have people that you brought on and you trained, you're supposed to be practicing your leadership skills to become a more effective leader, right?
Yep.
That's why we work on personal growth and trying to become a better person and all that stuff. Because listen, a leader is better when you're worth following.
Facts.
A leader is much better when you're worth following, right? So